and you gonna murder this one and murder that one. Talking all that bullshit. I'm gonna put it to you like this, yo.
This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me, I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What is poppin', everybody? And welcome back to another special episode of the Only Friends podcast. Well, you know, it's me and my only friends, which includes, but is not limited to, Galaxy Pants.
Right. I made fun of those pants this morning too. Jesus.
Oh my fucking God.
All right, it's been a long time, but
Galaxy brain.
It's been a long time, but it's gonna come back out. Come on, Lenny.
I was trying to get this.
Bro, you got to do something with your mic.
Your pants.
Hello.
The angle of the dangle is
don't
just
yank
like
on it too hard though.
This is Melissa broke it with her muscle mother strength. You broke it in my nose.
Broke it in my nose.
I don't know what you want me to do.
Somebody said Landon looks chunky.
Chunky?
Wow.
Yeah.
You're
Fuck
fucking
those
right,
guys.
man. I'm fat as hell. It's really sad. This is what happens when you get me to try poker. I stop lifting weights as much.
He is going through the typical. I'm going to dedicate my life to something that isn't the gym.
It's sad.
Phase.
I don't like it.
He previously went through the I'm going to dedicate my life to the gym phase and actually became somewhat anorexic. We overcame that quickly though.
Yeah.
Just
They're right,
found
man.
the garbage. The thing is,
You're right.
There's no tempering with you. It's only on and off. You're like fasting. Fuck yeah, I'm never eating again.
Yeah, I mean that's how switches work.
And then it becomes like, oh, I need to eat a lot of protein. Okay, 10,000 calories a day. Let's fucking go.
Well, 10,000 calories, but like also not lifting as much because I'm trying to play poker and do these things. But now, I got fat. I got fat.
Sorry, man.
I got fat.
We're gonna get through it.
Look, I sold my body. I sold my body to learn poker,
That's right.
and I will unsell it
Honestly,
after the series is over.
have a good summer. Put on another 25, and then see if we can get $1 million weight loss bet.
Yeah, that's the way you do it.
I mean, people just out here getting paid to live fucking good. I'm doing it for free.
Yeah.
What a mistake.
Well, you're doing it to keep your sanity, or whatever's left of it.
Lost that a long time ago.
You'll
buddy.
be all right.
I don't know if that's true.
I won't.
I'm not so sure that's true.
Yeah, you're right. I'm fat, and it sucks.
It's all right. You're richish.
I'm
Rich adjacent.
I'm 20. I'm
You're a thousandaire.
I'm 25 rich.
Oh, you're super rich for 25.
I'm very 25 rich, but I now must become rich in body.
Did you see that TikTok where there's that girl? It's like,
Probably.
I want a guy in finance,
Yeah.
6'5", blue eyes,
Yeah.
trust fund,
Yeah.
So I saw one yesterday where they broke it down by the numbers.
Yes, the statistically how many of them exist.
2.
Right, there's 2 of them.
2 men in America who are 6'5", with blue eyes, works in finance, and has a trust fund.
Gotta keep searching. I mean, if there's
Right.
2 out there, that means
Todd, wherever you are,
means you can find them.
his name's definitely Todd.
Something
by
like
the
it.
way, for sure.
I would say Blaine or something.
I could see a Blaine, yeah.
Blaine.
I mean, yeah, trust fund baby for sure. You name him Blaine. But where I was going with that is,
Let's go with that as you're fat.
no. I think it's easy for us to because money comes and goes so rapidly within this industry.
Yeah.
You go from 100,000-aire to broke to $1 millionaire to broke, whatever. We forget like
Chunky.
how like statistically chosen we are whenever you just compare us to the overall populace. Like
You forget very fast.
I mean, like you're very like I'm 6 foot, you're 6'5".
Yeah.
Okay.
Chunky.
Fuck you guys, all right? Coming from the 5'10s.
Okay. Well, you're still. I mean, you're
Just wear
still.
those shoes that they keep getting ads for to get 3 inches taller.
You're still average, but you'll be disqualified in the rest of what I'm about to talk about. So.
He is absolutely qualified.
Like they do those man on the street interviews where they ask a girl like what their type is or whatever, and they'll be like above 6 foot, makes $100,000 a year, yada yada yada, whatever. And it's like when you break that down statistically, the amount of men in the United States of America who are above 6 foot tall, have an IQ over 100, and are making $100,000 a year.
There's a website for this. There's literally a website where you can like filter for what you're looking for of like height how much money they make, like
Right. Yeah.
and these things, and it comes down to like the
it's
idea.
like 1%.
It's like, how delusional are you? Something like that. It's like the delusion calculator or some shit. But like the people were like, when they list those things, it's like less than 1%.
Yeah.
It's like impossible to find someone between like 25 to 35, X height that makes 6 figures plus.
All I'm hearing is
you're rare.
Not that, but the
not chunky.
Not chunky. All I'm hearing is that the poker dating pool is just rich with 1%ers. You know, find yourself a tall poker player.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase. Find yourself a tall, successful poker player. You just nailed a 1%er. Like,
yeah.
We're the new.
Right.
You know?
How, does that make you feel better?
No. I still am ready to just like, you know, eviscerate it all and move to a cabin in Montana. But, you know, I'm way past my prime. This shirt's older than you. Very close.
1997
You gotta stop saying this shit, man. You have so many pieces of articles of clothing that are from fucking 87.
Not so many. I have 0 from 87. I wish I could still fit into my He-Man t-shirt from 1987, okay?
He-Man's sick.
I do not. I was 5, sir. I do not have anything from 87.
From fucking 95.
94 is my oldest shirt. And it's only because they only gave us one size. And that size, as you can see in my 97 All-Star jersey, was baggy.
Yeah, but they knew that you were going to keep it and treasure it. And now you have an artifact from your past.
I have one from 1994. I have this one from 97. And I think
Where's Brian's?
Oh, I have we had an intramural volleyball team from freshman year to senior year, and I have all 4 of those t-shirts. So like 96 to 2000, 97 to 2000. Those are my oldest t-shirts. I'll cherish them. They smell like mothballs.
Do they?
It's weird. I wear this one all the time. No smell to it whatsoever. The intramural volleyball ones, I never wear them, and they're just hanging in my closet. Like they're just old shirts hanging in my closet. They smell like old shirts.
You wash it and they're fine?
No, cannot. They just smell like they've been sitting in a cedar closet for like 2 decades, and I don't know what
they have been.
No, they're just out in the open, but
in the closet.
In the closet, yeah, they do have a scent. A little bit of a stench, if you will. Wouldn't wear them on a first date, I guess, is what I'm going with this one.
Yeah.
Although maybe
I might.
maybe that would be endearing. Hey, sweetheart, this shirt's as old as you are.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm saying?
I do, and I wish I didn't.
Hey, Guz.
Sound like Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, that is wild.
That picture, was he at a basketball game?
Yeah.
Like, is this his daughter or his girlfriend? No one knew.
He's 61 and she's 19.
I mean, he's on that Leo shit, you know? Date her for 6 years. Bro,
61?
Leo doesn't date anyone under 25.
Yeah, but at least Leo's like under 50.
No, what?
Yeah, he's got to be like 48, 49.
No way. I'll take over.
I'm going to say he's 48, 49.
Okay, book it.
All right, booked.
All right, we're going to look that up. I think Leo's in his 50s for sure. Let's see. Basketball Diaries. He was 15.
DiCaprio?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
I know he is.
Yeah, definitely.
Basketball Diaries, I think, was 1992, and he was 15, which would make him 5 years older than me. Oh, Guapo might be right. He
46?
might be 48. Oh, nice. Very, very
49.
good, Guapo. You nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. I was off by at least a year.
Oh, he's only double their age. Kiedis is more than triple.
Only double the. You think he's dating a 24-and-a-half-year-old?
That might be a little old for him, but
that's
close.
I mean, he's already breaking up with her at that stage.
Yeah. They don't survive after 24.
I understand. All right. We have a fun show for you guys today. We got a new bracelet winner. We have Rampage at a final table that we need to discuss.
Let's go, Rampage.
Corgasm had a big weekend. But
Let's
first,
go.
we've launched season 11 of Poker Out Loud, and I promise you this is going to be the most off-the-wall, unhinged season that you've seen to date. We've got Sam Laskowitz in there, who is currently 6 of 19 in the 25K 8 max. We have one of our shining students, Chi. He's going to be in the mix. Myself, Landon, Matt Hunt, and then finally, I'm forgetting who the 6th player was. That's bad. Just roll the clip.
I mean, we're going to even have some shops here. probably.
It feels like it's probably just too good. It's probably just has to get in.
1400 in the middle. I think it's a pretty sick spot to jam.
I'm just like genuinely okay with just.
It's probably just about good enough to serve as a jam here. I was probably jamming if checked too. So
I think that's really the only play. Our hand's just not strong enough to 3-bet call off, non-all in.
We're gonna bet.
I think this is a good one to rocket it off on the turn with.
I'm kind of okay with just like saying fuck this.
Or all in.
All in.
CC.
I mean, we're gonna even have some shots here.
CC, I'm so
probably.
sorry. I completely brain farted and forgot that you were in the season. But we play. So for those who don't know, CC is like a regular in the 25, 50, 10, 20, 40 games. Sam is mostly playing high rollers. You're obviously familiar with myself, Matt, and Landon. And then Chi is a cash game grinder. He's in roughly the 5, 10, 10, 20 streets at this point. But a big focus that we had on season 11, similar to season 10, was the introduction of the stand-up game. And we did another version of it this season where we played normal stand-up like we did season 10. We also added in the progressive stand-up, or as Tom Dwan likes to refer to it, have you heard of the progressive squid?
Progressive Squid Game?
It seems like it might be coming to ACR if Durr has any say in things. So we're trying to get the content out there before everybody else does. I'm very sure that nobody has done as much work with the stand-up game as we have so far. So if they play stand-up in your environment, you're going to love this season. If you just love action, it's going to be a ton of fun to follow. A lot of wild shit happens. Landon and I might play a 2,000 big blind pot all in pre. I'm not sure. Maybe one of us has a good hand. Maybe one of us doesn't. You'll have to stay tuned.
Your hand wasn't that good.
But season 11, episode 1 is out today. We'll be releasing new episodes every Monday moving forward. So be sure to sign up at solve4y.io and get your membership now. The manager would be so proud of that plug.
Yeah, that was good.
He's out today. He got the horseshoe flu. I have remnants of it. I'm not sure if it's flu or I'm just congested, you know?
Maybe you
It's
got
right
the cocoa.
here. What's the cocoa?
COVID.
No. This is way, way, way too mild to be anything COVID related. I just got the sniffles.
But you're such an embodiment of health, Matthew. Maybe it just doesn't affect you that way.
Oh, maybe that's why
It's all
I
that
only have the
superhuman
sniffles.
bone broth.
Right, Lamanna and I both have the exact same thing right now, and he's out, and I'm here.
Wow.
Steering this ship right into a fucking iceberg.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to.
Let's give some shout outs to everybody who performed this past weekend. We missed Corey yesterday. He had a huge weekend on WSOP.com, winning both the 100K mystery high roller for $16,000, as well as the 30K Sunday high roller turbo for another $14,000. That's a 30K Sunday. Yes.
He won that for $30,000.
I'm sorry.
The mystery?
Oh.
Yeah, he had 16K in bounties.
That's the bounty, my friend.
Yeah. He got 2 5K bounties.
Oh, my man just having a quiet 45K weekend.
How the fuck you get so many bounties?
That's a lot of bounty.
That's what the man does.
Shout out
Get
to
it poppin'.
Porgasm, a.k.a. the new Jared Goff. All he does is win. Oh, he plucked the 10K. That's how.
No, he did not.
Oh.
He plucked 2 5Ks.
I see. Okay.
He got fucked. How do you not pluck the 10K there?
I mean, he has 16,000 in bounties. 2 5Ks does not equal 16,000. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously got more.
He got
He
many
won the tournament. He probably got like
many
fucking 12 knockouts.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. It's funny because I don't know if they're going to change the structure in WSOP, and it's probably, I mean, it's fine anyways, but the mysteries come in at the start of level 19, but you don't make the money until a little bit later.
20 or 21.
Yeah, like 22 sometimes. Yeah, either way. So, well, it gets faster because people bust so quickly when you're not in the money yet, but you can just play for the prize pool. So it is interesting that like you can just not be in the money yet, but also just win the almost first place prize.
Dude, it's absurd. WSOP is fucking popping right
like
now.
maxing a mystery is probably it's just gonna be so much better.
Maxing everything on the site is great.
Yeah.
Like honestly, WSOP is popping. Did you see the schedule for today?
Is that a good thing though?
It's a fucking great thing. Why?
No. I mean like making maxing so valuable.
Oh, I mean whatever. It's whatever. Some people do what they want.
Some people do what
they want. Yeah.
do
So
what they
anyway,
do.
the schedule is sick today. Look at this. They have fucking like 3 500s, or more than that. 1, 2, 3 500s, a 400 bracelet today. Fucking, this shit is absurd. We haven't seen something like this in a while. Last year was nothing like this.
Main event satellite. There's a 1K main event satellite.
This kind of looks like an ACR schedule almost.
ACR like some of the smaller mid stake stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to kind of, if you're around, and I played online yesterday. I played really small, but because I got home late and it was nice. Just wanted to play more poker.
Yeah.
Landon online is not part of the crossbook, or
No.
just bracelet events?
Bracelet events online.
Anything
don't
in
count.
Las Vegas.
But online does not count,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
I would have 6K more if online counted.
R.I.P.
Probably should have fought a little harder for that, huh?
Why? He doesn't own a
To
computer.
get online to count?
Yeah.
I mean, at least the
Yeah.
bracelet events.
Well, that's on him if he doesn't have a computer, because they're just saying like, oh, like you're not winning.
I don't think
much.
anybody knew that there were going to be 30 bracelet events. I think if we knew that there was going to be a 30 event schedule, it's kind of crazy to not include it.
Right, just get all the bracelets to count.
Yeah, because like the Sunday schedules around town just aren't that good, and like at least playing on Sundays seems.
They're like day
pretty
2
worth it.
stuff for like Wynn runs 1 days. So like
Yeah,
that's like the last Sunday. That's what I was doing. I was just at the Wynn and played I played a Wynn 1100 one day, a 250K guarantee where first was like 80 or like 90, which is a lot. Becker went to go play the 800 100K one day at the Venetian, and he got like 10th for like 4 buy-ins or something.
Right.
And then after I busted that, I played the Wynn Turbo where first was like 40, and I got like 23rd for like a min cash. But that was my Sunday. But otherwise, I would just be playing online.
Yeah.
Because online is so good.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Like it's just weird. Like
We're both
we're
losing.
all EV chasing.
Yeah. But we're losing less, which means we're winning.
I can't believe how small these numbers are after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
I mean,
Well,
it's kind of a testament to like you guys cashing a fair amount.
Yeah, well, we both had some reasonable scores. Like I had, I guess, the 23rd or whatever the hell, 29th for whatever it was, for like 18K.
Yeah.
And then he final tabled the 600 at the Aria for like 9K, and then final tabled a Wynn Turbo for like 7. So like we both played roughly around the same amount in buy-ins, but we both kind of cashed for a little bit more. Maybe he's played a couple more bullets than me, but it's nothing crazy.
How you
know?
feeling about it?
I mean, I feel good. I feel like I'm playing well. I feel like I like the way that I'm going about things, and I'm sure he feels relatively the same.
Do you feel like you have any extra pressure on you? Stress?
No, because I just try to play good anyways. There's enough pressure to play good. It's hard to play good as it is. I'm just trying to do that.
Yeah.
I don't really think there's much of like, oh man, like I need to win this thing or not. It's just, okay, I'm just going to try to play good poker.
Do you find yourself doing anything different than like last summer?
No.
Like whether it's like...
I mean, playing better. So we'll start there. I mean, tournaments are hard enough as it is, but I've just been spending more time on tournaments like final tables, final 2 tables. So I feel good about the way things are going. I can probably just do more like chip EV work. It's just because it's very hard.
I mean,
poker is very hard.
Isn't the work done right now? Like, it's time to play?
I mean, yeah, you play, but like at the same time, when you get some time off, sometimes it's nice to look at some things, but I'm not too concerned about it. I don't feel any sort of like overarching pressure to like need to win. I just feel like I just need to play good, and I feel like I'm doing that.
In terms of volume, though, are you playing more than you'd like to, or are you
Not more than I like to, but more than last year for sure.
Okay.
It's a nice incentive, to know that everything you play is kind of doubled. Yeah, like I don't really feel burned out or tired of playing or like mad about playing or like upset about being there because I want to. And then like I turned the switch on for this and I got fat. So once the switch is off, I'm over it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like after the series, I'm like, I'm gonna take 3 months and just.
Yeah, you're about to
And
come
flip
out of
the switch
hibernation
again.
and fuck some shit up.
Yeah, the bear needs to. The bear is sleeping.
Right. Don't wake him.
No.
Don't wake him.
The bear is awoke. And
Yeah, I think like
the bear needs help.
Look, we're only like 12 days into this thing. There's a lot of really big stuff left to play,
and just like bigger events in the sense of like the Millie Makers coming up and like the monster stack, and
Right.
those are gonna be bigger like potential big number spots.
Yeah, there's also like, you know, the 10K mystery bounty, the 10K 6. I mean, these are much later. The main event. There's the Wynn 10K is going to be
even
a huge
the 1600 PKO is actually going to be a decent. It could be a big one.
So this is a
Becker
new
had
event.
A chance in the 3500 and got unlucky.
Yeah,
so that was nice for us.
This is a new event that the Wynn has launched. It's pretty interesting. It's a 2.5 million guarantee with 4 starting flights, 1 million guaranteed in bounties that are introduced when the final 100 players remain. So with a $1,600 buy-in, they're expecting roughly 1,500 players, I'm guessing.
Oh, I didn't realize it was when the final 100 players remain. I thought it was in the money.
No. So it's like roughly, it's roughly when like 6.5% of the field remains, assuming that they just hit the guarantee. If they go way over, it seems like they're still not adjusting. It's only gonna, like, what if they get 3,000 runners? It's still gonna be the final 100, I guess.
And does money go into the prize pool then?
I think that they're doing it where it's a fixed million in bounties, and then the rest would go into the prize pool.
That makes a lot of sense.
So I think what would end up happening is the payouts would be larger from like 300 down to 100. And then you'd be playing for the PKO. So basically, once there are 100 people left, they'll divide that million now by 100. Each bounty is now $10,000. And for every person that you knock out, you get half of their bounty.
So realistically, we can be looking at like a 1.5 to 2x min cash for this. If like, because there's not too much shit going on in the next couple of days, really.
Right.
So I could see Wynn just being absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I mean, there's a 3K 6 Max today that a lot of
but it's
the
a
pros
turbo,
will play.
so everybody will be at the win.
Hey, it's not listed as a turbo, buddy. Okay.
What?
I've had this argument for 5 years with Jack. It's not a turbo if it doesn't say turbo.
It's
okay. It's a 30-minute level.
Which is
the people have cried for this. They're desperate for a 30-minute level 6 Max.
Oh.
And they wanted at the exact sweet spot of $3,000. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Everybody has said this is the greatest event on the schedule.
That's what I was thinking too.
Right. The irony is
everyone.
The irony is I started bitching about this in like 2018 or 2019 when I thought I was still good at tournaments, and now fast forward to like 2024, I'm so happy that it's a 30-minute level.
This is the best tournament for you.
Yeah, let's go fucking rock and fire.
You playing?
No, of course not.
Mass.
I mean, he might max it. Super max.
I maxed it last year in cash, but I don't feel good. I got horse fucked on day 2. Oh yeah, I had a fun table. I had Chris Kruk on day 1. That was fun.
The Krukster.
Anyway,
he loves 30-minute turbo.
You've been getting horse fucked a lot, it seems.
It happens. The last few days have been real rough. So with the PKO, whenever everybody has the 10K bounty initially, let's say you're the first person knocked out. Does that person then get the full 10K? You get nothing, right?
No, they get 5K because half of it goes to you, and then half of it goes onto your stack.
So the second you have a bounty in front of you, you actually get to redeem 5K.
No.
I didn't think so.
Wait,
because they give you both
your
chips.
Base, your base bounty is always 10K, and when you get knocked out, they get that 10K.
Correct.
Yeah, and then from there on, everything is halved.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be the first that I know of live PKO. I think they've
No. They did a 3K during the December series.
The Wynn tried
My
this
boy got
before,
third in it or something like that.
Okay.
The Wynn did this before.
It's interesting to me.
5K PKO, I think.
3K.
5K, 3K, either way.
Yeah,
more than one.
It's interesting to me. I guess like what they end up doing is they give you like 2 different types of bounty chips, basically.
I would imagine so.
Where like some are redeemable, others have to remain on the table.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to find out.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, this one could be a big one.
I mean, it's like you don't have to win this tournament to cap it for either of us. And if you get enough bounties, you can just hit 250.
How much of the bounty prize pool generally does the person who wins it unlock?
A lot.
In the PKOs?
Because they get their own back.
Yeah.
So they end up with like maybe 15% of the bounty pool.
Like the way that it normally works when you play heads up
first.
in a PKO is that first and second place are the same amount of money.
Right.
And then you play for the bounties.
Yeah.
So it can be a lot.
Yeah.
Like literally like a lot.
15 to 20%.
Yeah, and I'm sure in the normal prize pool,
it won't work that way with this one because the normal prize pool is going to be significantly larger. Right. Normal PKOs are 50-50 prize pools.
Or like something along those. Like just sometimes it's 75-25.
Okay. Well, then maybe it will work that way.
Yeah. It just depends. Like on WSOP, it was 50-50. But like on some other sites, like call ACR, Stars, like sometimes the bounty is worth like a quarter of a starting stack, which means it's like 75-25.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like if one of us final tables it, we're probably gonna max out the cross. But if someone gets like 30th but gets like 8 bounties, that could just be a lot of money if you knock out the right people.
Right.
Because in this tournament, as it's not a mystery, the bounties are fixed amounts.
Right.
But in the mystery, like oh man, if he pulls $1 million, you get fucked. Doesn't happen here.
Mm-hmm.
It's if he plays good PKO strategy and knocks out the guy with the biggest bounty and then gets to win 50K.
You get it.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
Or lucky, depending on who you are.
Right, yeah. So this one definitely could be a fun one.
I'm intrigued by the live PKOs. Like, I think they could be...
I just like the strat because you get to go for it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's just so much fun. It's like, it disincentivizes the nits.
You get to go for it in some cases, less so others, but that's just PKO strategy as a whole.
Yeah.
Like at some point, the bounty, like at the start of a PKO, the bounty's worth so much.
I just like that the strategy is not purely ICM based. It's a lot of like, how big is my bounty? How big is their bounty? Like, this is going to greatly impact our decisions one way or the other.
Anything with moving...
There's a meta game to it.
Yep. Anything with moving parts is fucking great for the game.
I think so too.
Like, it's just great for the game. The stationary, everything being stationary sucks.
Yeah. And for clarity's sake, these bounties would count in the crossbook.
They would count.
Yeah, so they just count at face value. What we agreed on is mystery bounties will be the average bounty price. So let's say
it stays consistent the entire tournament.
Right. So it's just fixed. All other bounty tournaments are worth their face because they're easily trackable.
And not as unfortunate.
Right.
Where like you bang off 500K and we have to pay 250.
Yeah.
Versus like someone playing good PKO strategy.
Imagine like we just see Landon and J-Bex, they both catch this tournament, but like bust early and they're like panhandling for bounties outside of the Wynn poker room.
Imagine they're playing heads up and it's to see who maxes each other out.
I mean, that'd
be interesting.
No, it wouldn't be that interesting because the difference wouldn't be that great.
Yes, it would. Because it's a PKO.
It doesn't matter.
If they both have all the bounties and they're playing heads up, it's going to be
either
huge.
way, like we'd both just call it make a lot of money, but then we're playing a 250K heads up match extra.
Yes.
Probably not.
No, I think you would be.
What do you mean no?
Somebody's going to win 250K more than the second player.
For sure.
First is going to be more than 250K in the second.
I think that's true.
The prize pool's only 2.5 million. I don't think that's true.
With the PKOs, I think it is. Like,
the prize pool with the PKOs is only 2.5 million.
I understand that, but I think
you're implying that they're going to unlock 10% of the overall prize pool difference between first and second, not just total. Like usually first is 10% total. You're saying that there's going to be a difference of 10% of the total prize pool between first and second place.
Yeah, it might not be. It's probably like
that's crazy.
It might not be that big.
Of course it won't.
Right.
Of course it won't.
Just to give you an idea, go look at what was Corey's thing.
It was a mystery bounty.
Oh, that was a mystery bounty. Okay, never mind. I thought it was PKO.
You can look at the WSOP bracelet event, I suppose.
Oh yeah, I will.
Like the 400 PKO
either way,
a while back. But either way,
first place, assuming they just hit the guarantee, first place is going to be like 150, 180K maybe. And then the biggest bounty, assuming you unlock like 15% of the bounty prize pool, will be like 150.
And you get your own
bounty.
You get your own back.
Yeah, I understand.
So you get...
I'm saying, I'm being very generous, saying you unlock 15% of the bounty prize pool.
Right. So now you get, call it 150 plus the 180, so you get 330.
Right. And then second place will also get 180 plus like some of their bounty. Maybe they get like 5% of the bounty prize pool, another 50. So it's like it's not going to be a big difference between first and second.
Yeah.
It's notable, but it's similar to any other event.
Yeah.
Valid. Can't wait to see.
Okay. Well, if you'd
Conrad's excited.
If you'd like to book that one, I'm all for it as well.
Yeah, I'll take 20 push-ups.
Okay. Booked.
On how much?
On it being greater than 250K between first and second total.
Just the overall result of the tournament.
Sure, whatever, go.
Yeah. He just wants to push ups.
He's trying to figure out ways to like game it. He's like, nah, let's make it 200.
Right. Anyways.
Shout out to Daniel Vampin. He took down the 3K limit hold'em for his first bracelet. He is a Las Vegas local who won $148,000. That was the only bracelet doled out yesterday, but we had a big sweat watching the 25K. I actually tuned in a little bit yesterday because I got home early. 19 remain in this one. Wild swingy day. Philip Sternheimer, who frequents our game quite a bit, really fun guy to play with, mostly plays the high stakes mixed games. He was chip leading for a very long time. Didn't get to see what happened at the end, but he bagged 18 of 19 with only 800K. Weissman is 19 of 19. We got my man David Stam up at the top of the chip counts, though.
Fucking go.
4.95 million, coming in second in chips. Man, I wish I would have watched more closely. I would love to know if Ospachenko was like doing the same weird shit that he was doing at my 5K table. Like, was there any limping? Or
He limped the button with king queen suited. Once.
no, he limped under the gun at my table.
He fucks.
That's different. Limping the button is very reasonable. Sean Deeb coming in fourth in chips.
He do what he do.
Laskowitz, who we had mentioned, coming in 7 of 19. Shulman right behind him, 8 of 19. The Blaze still in the mix.
Shout out to Noel. He's always around.
Man,
he always making these deep runs in these fucking big events just randomly.
This is like a really, really fun mix of 19 players. Like,
this starts up again today.
Yeah, this is a real sweet spot because like you have some very well established high rollers.
Who's more inclined?
Huh?
More inclined. Is that the older gentleman that plays?
No clue.
Okay, never mind.
I have absolutely no idea.
Gotcha.
Gentlemen.
More.
And then finally, we have the BetMGM final table. This is going to be 600K up top, and Rampage comes in 7 of 7.
One Rampage.
He's doing it. He closes this out. I think he'll be pretty close to recouping that million that he misplaced. Unfortunately for Rampage, this was on his second bullet, so it does not matter for his crossbook with Brewer and Moneymaker, as far as I understand.
So it's
Brewer
only for
first bullets only.
And Moneymaker.
Wow, I wonder whose idea that was.
Probably Rampage's. I don't know. So Rampage is 7 in chips. Base Baldy, local legend, 6th in chips. Dan Moore, who is one of the head guys at WPT Global, comes in 5th in chips.
Let's go, Dan.
Not sure who. Oh, that's James Romero.
It's Romero, yeah.
Oh, shit. James Romero comes in 4 of 7.
I love this final table.
Jordan Westmoreland and Lai Jung Kwang. Nope, got that wrong.
He's on Lady Gaga's.
Yeah, Team Lady Gaga. Yeah. Unfortunately, no fantasy points for this one. And then the one and only Shannon Shore coming in with double the next stack.
What a fucking goat.
Heaps.
10x Rampage's stack, double the second place stack. He is going to be putting on a clinic today, I'm sure.
That's a lot.
Looking for more gold and a big score. Good luck to all the homies out there. Man, why did Rampage limit himself to 1 bullet?
That's wild. I mean, I guess he's just trying to cut his losses.
Well,
and he also wants to fire.
It's interesting to me because the bet is such that Brewer and Moneymaker are basically saying that they don't think Rampage is beating face.
Mm-hmm.
So they're happy to take his action. But why would that change on the second or third bullet?
It's not to do with change, but probably what Conrad's saying, where he doesn't want to be stuck for a ton.
Rampage or them?
Rampage. I think he wants to fire, but he wants to cap his losses to them.
Wow.
It seems.
Something tells me it's the other way around.
Really?
I would think so.
Why would they ever want that?
Honestly, mental warfare. You know how torturous it is to know that you just lost another 3,500 in the crossbook while you're at this final table? Instead of having like 100x or 2x rather, whatever your earnings are.
Man, that's so funny.
Like you can just be out there punishing.
Wow.
Also, it allows them to kind of like limit their exposure to some degree, I guess. Right? But yeah, I mean, in theory, if they think he's losing at face,
just let him play whatever he wants.
It doesn't matter what bullet he's firing on.
Strong.
But yeah, it's got to be like particularly stressful when you have to decide, do I want to fire a second shell or do I want to get a clean bullet that I have 100% crossbook on? You know what I mean? Like, because you could just go fire a 1K and now you're playing a 2K. You're just naturally playing bigger, which is pretty good.
And here he is now in final table at 3,500.
He needs it. The kid needs it. We're rooting for you. I like that punter hat. I really do. It's a really sharp play on the what the hell, the Jordan logo.
Yeah.
My brain is.
You're foggy.
I got COVID brain. Bad.
So Capo said he said
very bad. All right, let's follow up with a couple news and notes from the series. We mentioned yesterday that WSOP was doing or they had corrected some issues with late reg, especially for the big buy-in events. And yesterday was the first opportunity to see that in action. And of course, it did not go smoothly. Sean Winter tweeted, 6 of us were maxing the 25K at 1 p.m. We were all in line, 15 people by 12:40 or so, with half of us at the cashier between 12:57 and 1:01. We got rejected to enter. I'm not upset at not being able to play, as I was likely registering with too many chips to cash anyway. I'm mainly annoyed WSOP wasn't able to collect our 9,000 in rake, as we were trying to support a great company. None of us were here trying to take advantage. So essentially what this comes down to is Sean doesn't have his TBIC set up, and D-Negs kind of gave him shit over it, and he was just basically like, look man, not all of us have like infinite liquidity to just come and slam on the TBIC. Like, a lot of us are carrying our bankroll in hand and going event to event, and it's a bit more of a process. And then D-Negs said, I guess you have to come in earlier, some bitch, because people were coming in too late. We fixed that, and some are going to get shut out unless they come early or use the machines. Also, you're rich as fuck, so no excuse for you. Stoyan, not going to try.
Madanjev.
Okay, thank you. He said, I was one of the 6 guys. I went to the machine first. This is what happened to me. So this is exactly what happened to me. And what I had forewarned may be a problem with the machines and the TBIC. He said, I was one of the 6 guys. I went to the machine first, and it did not print the ticket. There was a problem with the machine. I don't understand why they don't just pause the clock for 5 or 10 minutes until everybody who came on time gets in. And the issue is that I think like Sean and everybody else is speaking to is that when you go to the actual physical cashier, it's not a fast process. Like for me, it took them 20 minutes to remedy the situation where I had already been registered for like 25 minutes. And now I'm somehow 15 minutes past registration before I finally get my copy of the ticket.
That's tilting.
I still think the cleanest solution here is just like make it an on-time day 2 reg, right? Just like close registration at the start of day 2. This is such an easy fix. And some of the guys were clamoring that like, oh, that delays the restart on day 2, and it's a big problem because floor people are scrambling, trying to get people sat, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it doesn't have to.
In the bigger buy-in events, it shouldn't be that hard, right? Since it's such smaller fields.
Yeah, I mean, you just leave a seat open at every table.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that seems like the easiest solution. You come back to 18 tables or whatever it may be. You leave 18 seats open. If you expect more, then you leave 2 seats open at every table. Like, you just balance while the clock is running. It's not that terribly difficult, I don't think. But again, like, I don't run these things.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
There might be something to it. That's reasons why.
It just seems like that has to be a lot fucking cleaner than having an arbitrary time where the clock is both still running and somebody has to be like manning the line to be like, nope, you came at 1:01. Yeah. Sorry, buddy, you're out.
Yeah. There's like a lot of situations. Like I think it was 1K last year. I just saw people like walking to the back of the line. Like they just kept walking to the back of the line. They're like, we're just gonna max it. We're gonna be the true max.
The max.
And I was like, damn, some sick fucks.
Yeah, it happened to me kind of by accident last year in the 3K8 max.
This is one of the wildest stories I've ever heard in my fucking life.
I max late regged on dinner break. I think it ended after dinner or whatever. And I had my receipt printed and everything else. And I can't remember what happened that I either got delayed or I didn't correctly know what time dinner ended. But I just showed up 30 minutes after late reg had closed.
No, I think you just had got there, whatever. You got your ticket and they sold it to you like 30 minutes after the tournament was closed. You got your ticket sold to you.
Maybe they didn't close reg on time.
Exactly. You got your ticket sold to you, and then you went to your stack with a fresh stack. Went to your table with a fresh stack, and somebody was like, "Did you just register?" You're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "It's been closed for an hour." Or something along those lines.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous where like they forgot to close registration. I just like snuck in. I had no fucking clue.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I was just like, oh, it was open on Bravo. I clicked the button.
Yeah. It's so wild because like
now we're here.
You gained so much. There.
And then I ended up cashing, and the whole time on the bubble, I'm just like screaming at people to hurry the fuck up. I'm like chip leading on the bubble, and these guys are taking 2 minutes to act, and I'm calling the floor every 3 seconds. Like I swear to God, if you don't just post up here.
The tournament today, right?
No, that was in the 3K8 max.
Oh.
3K6 max was more fun. I had all the chips they won. I bagged like top 5, I think.
Yeah. You're good at this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna nap. I think I'm just gonna nap instead.
In the horseshoe on break.
Wow.
Honestly, I'm zapped, man. I'm gonna take like 4 or 5 days off.
You probably should. You've been getting wrecked.
Take a couple days off, mate.
You hear this?
You don't have to. You don't have to give them the sniffle cam.
I just want it to be known I showed up, and Lamanna's at home on the couch watching right now. Hi,
Real
Brian.
Housewives.
Hi, Brian.
No,
yeah, he's got Real Housewives on in the background.
He's not fucking watching us. He's 100% watching the Pirates.
No, the Pirates aren't on yet. He's watching us because he texted me CC's name. Like, fuck, I forgot. You're right. All right. Final thing is that there's a follow-up to the investigation of the mark cards in the Omaha Aider Betters event that Mike Holtz had pointed out. Initially, the WSOP floor person said they weren't going to do anything about it, yada, yada, yada. It turns out, for those who aren't familiar with the story, you can click on the article. It probably shows a lot more. On day 9, there was a woman in the 9 seat at Mike Holtz's table and noticed something strange about the flop. She said both the aces are marked. Then she fanned the deck and was able to pull out every single ace through 4 in the deck without hesitation. So it turned out that all the low cards were being marked. She was able to pull them with 100% accuracy. Holtz described the cards as being slightly bent in the middle, and the only cards affected were the critical low cards of ace through 4. Initially, WSOP responded and said, like, it kind of is what it is. We'll just be monitoring decks moving forward, and that's kind of it. But since then, it seems as though they followed up and said that they will be doing a full investigation, and that this was confirmed by PokerWorks' statement from the WSOP. The statement read, "Integrity of the game is of the utmost importance to the WSOP, and we take these and any similar allegations seriously. We did, in fact, open an investigation in the PLO 8 event, and while we do not comment publicly on security protocols to keep them effective, we do appreciate players continuing to inform tournament staff of any irregularities they observe." Oh, man. So, basically, what that means is that they're looking into it. Whether they'll find something or not, we don't know. They'll obviously have security footage that they can investigate.
It's so hard to fucking find somebody marking cards. Like, imagine, like, all they have, their nail is like set to do this.
Right.
Like, so it's like
they're like bending.
All they're doing is just
whatever.
like the scratch or whatever the fuck case may be.
Yeah. It's not going to be an easy one to flesh out, but they're doing their best.
Kudos for them for trying.
Yeah, hopefully they're replacing decks a lot more freely as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit! I completely forgot. I was playing a nightly yesterday, right?
Sure.
All right.
Why wouldn't you be?
Yeah. So we're in there, whatnot, and fucking
We're in there.
But dealers, aren't the best up there. So cards, get thrown, somehow go underneath a rail that's like there's no space to get underneath. Anyway, maybe an hour after there was like a misdeal, somebody's like, "Can you count the deck?" We were playing with 50 cards.
For how long?
For like an hour. We ended up fucking finding out that the rail does come up, and there was 2 cards underneath the rail. It was one of the wildest shits ever.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was just, for an hour too, and it was just absurd.
Someone wasn't flopping enough sets. They got concerned.
No.
I keep getting 6s, but where's my 6?
Yeah, no, it was a pretty absurd situation. I haven't seen that too often.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it, but not often.
I guess that is why dealers have to count the deck a couple times during their down. I think it's like you have to count they want to say it's like at least 2 times.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't want a damn dealer counting any decks up there yesterday.
Well, you probably should have wanted one in like an hour.
No, honestly, I was happy playing with 50 cards. Nobody knew what the 2 missing were, because fucking that would have been a half a level. I mean, it's funny because like this situation took like about a level. It was to like figure out. It's 20-minute levels, so pretty absurd.
You played 3 levels with 50 cards. That's strong.
What 2 were missing?
The suspense.
Nothing good.
Right. Just the 3 of spades and the 4 diamonds. No big deal.
Yeah, something like that.
Give a shit.
Well, people don't have the bottom of bluffing ranges anymore.
Brutal.
Someone's not tripling off ace deuce or something.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Man.
Nothing really changed.
Nothing changed.
The only
Nothing ever
thing that
changes.
changed is that Deuces didn't flop enough sets.
All right, before we get to the In the Muck, I want to cover one final thing that I think is an interesting discussion. I wanted to talk about it yesterday with Melissa, but A, I know she hates these topics of conversation, and B, we had a packed show, so we never had a chance to get to it. But Katie Stone retweeted an article put out by The Gist, which is apparently an attempt at being a fan-first sports media brand that's shaking up the male-dominated sports industry. We're reinventing the dialogue around sports by providing equal coverage to women in men's sports. Whether you catch our newsletter, podcast, or social posts, our fun, digestible content is for all types of fans. Now, I think, personally, this is a really sharp idea in sports media. You look at outlets like Pat McAfee, and he's done an incredible job of turning traditional sports media on its head, right? He's basically turned it into a water cooler conversation with his buddies, his local friends. You all right, Guap?
Yeah, it smells so bad.
What happened? No, I need to know.
He farted.
Who did? You or Conrad?
Not me, bro. I can stand
Conrad-
my own heat.
Conrad
Good
Conrad just
Lord.
crop dusted Guapo.
I mean, it is bad.
Conrad said he's shitting himself right now.
That came on like, I'm not kidding, like a brick wall, man. That was bad.
I wish I could show you guys what's going on right now.
Guapo can.
Conrad clenching his cheeks just shot off like a bottle rocket. And I had no idea what was going on. I assumed he was fine. Guapo's over here fanning himself.
Don't send it to me. What the hell? Send it away. Send it back to him.
Honestly, that's impressive.
The irony of this too is that there's a guy on the Pat McAfee show who he has IBS and he constantly shits himself like on air. And they've had like so many moments where he's had to rush off to the stall. Now we have our own in Conrad. But anyway, specific to the sports media industry, I think for the longest time, like ESPN was the leader, Sports Illustrated, and a handful of others, and it was covered in a very, very, very traditional way, right? It was going to be on-air reporters, it was going to be highlight reels, news anchors, et cetera, et cetera. Pat McAfee, being a former athlete himself and just a bit of an entertainer, kind of came into the space, turned it on its head, turned it into more of a podcasty type of back and forth, and you see like hundreds of derivatives of this, like where now the crossover is just like insane. Like when you look at something like what's the Logan Paul podcast? Impulsive, yeah.
Implied.
I knew it was something.
Impolite.
Yeah, so Impulsive. That's a good example of like where there's crossover between like sport and music and kind of like these lesser covered sports like combat sports and things of that nature. You look at someone like Shannon Sharp, who has like one of the top podcasts in the world. He has everybody from comedians to athletes to musicians to actors on his pod.
Do they still do First Take or no?
He left First Take. Him and Skip are not okay. Well,
Him and
all right. So
Skip.
wait. Let me rephrase.
Skip.
He is on First Take now. My apologies. Skip left First Take to go to Skip. He left First Take to go to Fox. Shannon partnered with him on Fox. I can't remember what the name of the show was, but like Skip Bayless is insufferable. Shannon ended up leaving. Now he's on First Take where Skip used to be with like, I don't know if Max Kellerman's still there or not. I think Stephen A is still there. But anyway, long walk for a short drink. Point being is that the athletes have kind of like retaken over the space. We're seeing a big shift in sports media coverage as a whole. And I think that there's a huge lane to now, especially with the current hype on the WNBA with Caitlin Clark.
She actually just got snubbed for the Olympics.
She did.
Is kind of wild,
bro. This is crazy. So
the amount of attention the Olympic Committee is definitely bringing some heat to themselves.
Right.
Maybe she's not at the caliber at some of the girls that are on the team.
No, but
maybe
the thing
I
is
don't
she
know.
is.
I don't even know if that's debatable or not. But the fact that she's so hot right now,
it's crazy.
It's just
why did
it's
she
not a
get
good
snubbed?
Move.
Just rookie, probably just not a part of it. I don't know,
Weird.
to be honest, but like Pat McAfee did a thing on this where the entire rookie class is feeling like overshadowed by Caitlin because she's getting all the attention, and like Angel Reese and a bunch of others who are great athletes in their own right are kind of speaking out saying like, hey, like the whole class is legit. And he did this breakdown of like jersey sales, attendance, all this other stuff. You know that Caitlin Clark's jersey is like, I think it was either 5, 4, or 3 most sold basketball jerseys in the world. Not WNBA. Basketball. She sold more jerseys than Luka.
Right.
Like, what are we doing here? This is crazy. But where I'm going with all this is I think that this is a great time for somebody to strike where it's like, okay, let's do this thing and let's provide a lot more coverage to female athletes. And I think that's like really, really, really sharp, and never has there been a better time for it, where I think sports are becoming a lot more inclusive. Someone just showed me a clip the other day of a pitcher in the Frontier League, which you guys probably aren't familiar, but it's an independent league, mostly in the Northeast. And it's just a girl who's like in her early 20s, just mopping guys up at low level professional baseball. So it's like, never have we seen more inclusion than now. And it seems like a great time to kind of shake up the industry. Where I'm going with all this, or why I bring this up with regards to poker, is because Katie kind of then made the leap of, why can't we do this within our 4 walls? Like, don't you think that the media has a responsibility to now cover women differently within poker in order to grow not just the participation from the opposite sex, but also to grow inclusion and, highlight more women in the industry and things of that nature? And we can't ask Conrad because he's never going to return, but I guess I'll turn it to you guys. Do you think that this is achievable within our space the same way it would be in like mainstream sports?
No.
Why?
I mean, not that it's like a hard thing to do, but it seems, I don't know. I haven't really like thought much on this topic as a whole, if you will, but it seems like when it comes to doing stuff now, like poker's more like merit based, and like the women that do well in poker do get a lot of attention, I would say. So it's not like there's a missing space there.
Right.
Does that make sense?
I feel like we might need a Caitlin Clark thing ourselves. Like, can you imagine the main event this year having
we kind of
2 women final table, or have somebody actually have a female win the main event? Like, I think that
we've had this stuff happen though. Was it 2017? I think
the French girl, right?
Yeah, Gabriella, I believe her name was. She got 11th or 10th. Coritis bubbled her, I believe. We have Chrissy B. Like, she's a slayer. She's out there in all the high rollers. She wins GPI Player of the Year most years. Kind of come onto the scene. We saw. Oh my goodness.
Unfortunately, I think we need that mainstream pop. I think it needs to be a final table at the World Series for the main event.
So I think, well, can you name me more than 2 people that made the final table last year?
No.
Exactly. So that's, I think, the larger issue at play here.
But if it were a female, though, I think I could. I
don't think being a woman necessarily alters it, unless
I think it would.
Maybe a little bit, but again, it would fade. Right? Like at some point, I think the bigger point is that the reason why this works for all sports is because there are female athletes doing impressive things day over day. And it's easy to highlight that, right? Like, there's a track and field star somewhere that we can follow leading up to the Olympics. There is a women's basketball league. There's a women's lacrosse league. There are, endless amounts of NCAA sport-specific women's sports, right? Like, boosting and amplifying that coverage is very, very easy from a mainstream sports perspective. I don't know how you boost or amplify any further within poker. Like, 2% is just 2%. There's really nothing that can be done to like shake up the way that poker media. I mean, look, poker media coverage in and of itself needs to be shaken up. Like, it's just not that interesting, right? Like, I couldn't name you the final table list of the main event last year. I could name you like 3, and I pay very close attention. So in the bigger picture, like, poker media is just failing as a whole. I don't think it's the place to fix things whenever it comes to being more inclusive. You know what I mean? Like Imagine you're just like covering or the 25K, for example. I think 7 women played it, right? So imagine that you're a Poker News reporter and you're covering the 25K, and you're tasked with just reporting on the 7 women in there in order to boost amplification. Like, that's so disingenuous, I think, to the audience, that they just keep getting spoon-fed these updates over and over and over again of the seven women in the field. And it's just like, you know, a 5 big blind.
It's going to feel forced.
I think so, because it's just like the things that are actually being reported on have nothing to do with the person, almost always, except for Ivy, right? Ivy gets reported on for just being Ivy, but everything else that gets reported on is because it's a 100 big blind pot, or because a bluff was shown, or because there was table banter that broke out and a fight ensued, or whatever. Like, the media has a very difficult job of turning something incredibly boring and not very watchable into something that you can follow along at home. Now, it's way different whenever there are 19 left. If there was, 2 or 3 women left out of the 19, then of course they're going to get full-blown coverage, because everything's going to be covered at that point.
Yeah, I was going to so I was listening. I actually think that since there's women are the minority in poker, they do get a decent amount of coverage, like when it's time. Like,
right.
Say, I don't know. I feel like women are highlighted whenever something's going on with them. Like deeper in a tournament or something like that, it's always highlighted. So I kind of think it already happens.
So you don't feel like they're getting snubbed at all?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I think they get highlighted. I think women get highlighted in poker media.
I definitely I mean, we have a bit about this in Results May Vary.
Okay.
Way back in 2018, where Travis is interviewing Sarah Herring, and she does this very dry, sarcastic, hilarious bit about how she's giving him advice as a media person, and she's like, have you thought about asking what it's like to be a woman in poker? And like basically going through the trite questions, kind of to your point, where it's like people are, like, especially media, are clamoring to cover women because we all believe in being more, or maybe not we all, but most people believe in, if we're more inclusive, more players will show up, specifically more female players, right? So I agree with you that I think that that's already the case, and that this isn't the right tree to bark up, right? Like, media as a whole could maybe use a facelift in poker, but poker as a whole needs a facelift in becoming more mainstream.
Exactly.
And this kind of dovetailed into a conversation of Seidel tweeting something along the lines of, why do we suffer so much in this industry with a lack of sponsorship? And Katie kind of pointed out that in the United States, 90% of households, like married households, the woman is the one making the critical financial decisions. So we should appeal to sponsors that appeal to that audience. And I think like the big problem is that like we're just totally ignoring the elephant in the room, that the reason we don't get sponsorship is because we're heavily aligned with gambling, and not in the way that sports betting is aligned, right? Like, sports betting is seen as now a regulated, above board, no longer, like they removed the seediness of the bookie breaking your kneecaps overnight. With the introduction of FanDuel, DraftKings, a nationwide lift of the ban for sports betting and things like that. They integrated it within the leagues.
It's fucking sick what's going on.
With MLB and NFL and like all these other places, they've integrated sports gambling. And what they've done as a byproduct is continue to push us down and suppress us further and further. So what do we try to do? We try to like sneak around the corner and say like, no, we're a lot closer to chess. How many fucking sponsors does chess get?
Zero.
Right? Like,
Not much.
Who's sponsoring chess tournaments?
Chess.com.
Right. Right. Which is why Octopi Poker is the sponsor of PokerGo right now, and why GTO Wizard is the sponsor of this podcast right now. Right? Like, we're
Thank you for paying us.
so small and so insulated.
Thank you for keeping the lights on.
Right? It's not that we can't get outside of our 4 walls. It's just, it's going to take a real reimagination here of what it takes to actually pull in a mainstream sponsor like car dealership or a sport.
Anything.
Yeah, anything like that, right? Like
The best we get is if you say that you're an athlete at Lululemon, they give you a discount.
Correct.
Yes, let's go. Fucking love it.
You want to know what actually would get us more sponsorship, as well as get us more women players and more coverage on women players? Lamanna's idea: a billion person tournament.
A billion person
If
tournament.
we get a billion person tournament, it's on, baby. Lock the fucking doors.
$1 buy-in?
$0. Who cares?
Oh, okay.
$3 billion tournament plays down to one winner in 3 days.
We're gonna run 4 days. We need the 4th day. Okay.
10-minute levels.
We are gonna orchestrate a tournament in India where every citizen gets to play, and then from there, it's gonna boom, baby.
We'll figure it out.
It's all gonna boom. From there, it's all gonna boom, and we're just gonna figure it out.
Step 1, step 2, profit.
Step 3, profit.
Right.
Step 2, question mark. We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really interesting conversation. I think it's one that will continue to surface, and it would be a fun one to host a panel on.
Jamie chimed in. She said it feels like poker media roots for us to do well, and they're happy to highlight when we do.
Yeah, I think she's right.
Yeah, is the take that they don't?
I think Katie's take was that if there are 20 women in the field, you could dedicate a reporter to solely continually updating those 20 women.
But
basically put such a spotlight on them that it doesn't matter if they do well or not. Their name just continually gets repeated until it becomes more household.
I have a question. Do you think they even want this shit? Majority of people.
I would say most, no.
Majority of people don't even want this type of shit.
I would say,
man.
yeah. I do think it's forcing a bit of martyrism.
Yeah, it's like you're pushing this on to people.
Onto certain women.
Yeah, and it's like they just want to play poker. A lot of people just want to play poker. Yes, sure. If there's 100 people left, their name's going to get highlighted. Yes, they'll get their attention.
The inverse of that does occur, though, where I saw recently somebody was complaining that they were down to the final 3 or 4 tables and their name was never mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And it's yeah, that's an oversight. Your name should have been mentioned, and I do believe that it was a woman in this instance. But also it was
I did see this, actually.
Also it was the 800 Turbo or something along those lines, right? So it's just unfortunately, they're not putting a lot of resources to this particular event.
Yeah,
and that's just kind of the nature of it. It's shitty, but it's I don't think this moves the needle at all. If we got this perfect, whatever perfect is, right? If we got it perfect, whatever perfect is, I don't think it changes a goddamn thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think that,
especially in today's day and age, right? Because it's I grew up in a time where getting media attention got you a Red Pro sponsorship on FTP or got you a Stars deal, right? Now, we grew up in a time where you could just be a content creator. The majority of the women that I know in poker are content creators first and foremost.
Watch out, Joe Jaffe might not like that.
Fuck Joe Jaffe. But it's easier now than ever to create a name for yourself within the space and create your own little pocketed niche.
Mm-hmm.
And moreover, because of that, because there's such a flood of now known names in some regards, I can't even tell you who the top 100 most popular people are. I have no clue. Where in 2008, it was clear.
Yeah,
who the top 100
and you
was.
can literally, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure. Now it's just Daniel and Ivy are in an air above everybody else.
Well,
and then,
you mean Helmuth and then Daniel and Ivy.
My apologies to the GOAT. I can't believe I snubbed him like that. Forgive me, sire. I apologize. But yeah, it's this tiny little fraction of what remains from the old school. And then just a barrage of there are guys as old as me that may still be a household name, and then there are people as young as Sethi that are just blown up because they're good at TikTok.
Yeah.
So it's who fucking knows anymore? It's not as much of a meritocracy. It's way more of wanting that for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that to your point, a lot of people just want to operate in silence.
Yeah.
They just want to navigate,
A lot of people just want to grind, man. Just chill.
Get on that grind. All right, let's get in the muck real quick and then get out of here. I don't think I have the hands.
Oh shit, we spicy in here today.
Lamanna has it, or he sent it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have it on my end, but you haven't run it yet.
No. I ran the hand. I just don't know. I don't have it to speak.
Oh, so what you're saying is you want Conrad to read?
I need Conrad to read.
All right. Well, I can do that for you. Once I
knew you were prepared.
Up.
Yeah.
Once I pull it
You can see it reflecting in those mirrored glasses.
I have to
Where
wear.
did you get those glasses? Those are fire.
You can just freestyle it and look at the screen if you want.
So, all right, we are playing 2-5 at Parks, 1K effective, 8-handed. Hijack opens to 15. Cutoff calls. Hero on button with ace jack of diamonds. 3 bets to 65.
Jeremy.
Shut up. Hijack 4 bets to 160.
We know who put it in now.
Hijack 4 bets to 160.
Let's go, Jeremy.
Cutoff folds. Hero calls.
We're in.
Flop is king of diamonds, 3 of diamonds, deuce of hearts.
That's pretty good.
Hijack bets 110.
All right.
Hero calls.
We're in, Jeremy.
Turn. Ace of heart.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
Hijack bets 225. Hero calls. River. 10 of hearts.
No good.
Hijack rips for 615.
Ooh.
Old.
Yeah.
Hero folds.
Wait, 615 or 505?
615.
Okay, so we just had it.
B60 instead of B50.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is a good fold, first of all. Where's he in the muck?
In the muck across literally every street a bit. Thanks in advance.
I actually just think he played it.
In the muck on every street, just played like a good hand of
I
poker.
literally
really
think,
good.
Honestly, like I've no notes.
This looks really good.
It's like the opposite of a bad beat story.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't really know what to do, man. I just played really good poker.
Right,
And
it's just like a subtle flex.
Yeah.
Like, hey, no notes, man. Good job.
Actually, you know what? Wrap this one up. You did great, bro.
he basically just wanted a line check, you know? You
Yeah.
want to see on river, like, do you get to call this one? And
I
the answer
imagine
is-
there's a part of him that was like, can I just jam turn?
Yeah.
Like, do I have enough hand to just jam turn? The problem is you
you
just
have
get
too much
fucked by
hand.
ace king.
You have too much hand to jam
Too much
turn.
hand. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If he's bluffing, you make him fold. If he has you already.
And you're just
And now you're trying
dead.
to draw to a flush.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna be dead.
We don't have results, right? He didn't show anything.
It just said he folded.
He folds.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I ran it. We could take a quick look at it. But, like, the only real reason to even want to jam the turn is, like, to maybe deny or get called by worse, such as, like, king, queen of hearts. But, like, you're just not going to see much of that in your opposition's range. He'll have a little bit. You can see he has, like, king, queen half the time here. But not really a ton. And I'm very sure that this is just going to play out in a way where, like, Jeremy couldn't have done anything differently. So I think the flop lead was like 30% actually. Is that accurate? But I'm just going to leave it at 25 because I think I entered the stacks according to the hand
Flop
replayer.
was 342 and he bet 110.
Yeah, so about third pot. But I'm going to leave it at 25 because I have the stacks for 200 big blinds where it sounds like they were slightly deeper. So let's just roll with it here. Ace jack of diamonds, pure call. Not pure call, tiny bit of raising. You just get the jam here some of the time. For pot. Wait, do I have this way too shallow? I must, right?
How many big blinds do you have? 200 effective.
Okay, yeah, I have them too shallow. Can you give me pot size real quick? On flop.
On flop.
You said it was 300 and something, so like 60
342
bigs?
on the flop.
So 70 bigs. We'll call it 70. And then they have what, 1,000 behind?
They have 840 behind effective.
Plus 100 because it was 100 off on the river, so 940. So 94 big. Wait, no, 940 is 100 and math on air. 130 blinds? No, 170 blinds. There we go. Okay, now let's try it. It's still going to be quarter. I don't think that's going to change. We're just not going to be jamming as a response. Okay, yeah. So now we go quarter. You can see ace jack suited now, pure call. Nailed it. Turn ace of hearts. But I'm going to do clubs because I did clubs in this sim.
I think Machine's going to like some calls with his hand on the river.
What size did opposition choose? Half pot?
This is on the turn.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it was half. Hold on.
Turn 562 and he bets 225.
So like
40.
40-ish. We'll go 43 for spice. All right. Yeah, not a lot of betting, shockingly, out of the 4-bet range here. Landon, do you want to comment a little bit as to why this bet is so tight?
Like mildly surprising, but I just imagine that the imposition range that peels flop is going to be doing relatively well on this card. Because like we fold a lot of the pairs without diamonds and stuff on flop.
Right.
So now we're kind of like also in positions range or out of positions range is a lot of king X. Like you see like the king 10, king jack, king queen.
Yeah.
So going like B25. The size is what is it? 40?
Yeah.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah. Like you don't want to bet a king for 40. Yeah, I mean I guess it's just a bad card for you, like just range concentration wise. But I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, you have tons of coverage, but like you're not like super strong, right? Like you kind of either have top 2 or a set or just a weak top pair, but a redraw. So like, he has like a lot of ace 5, ace 4, ace 3 to redraw. He'll have some ace jack to redraw. Like he doesn't want to just start blasting with ace jack of diamonds.
You just kind of have him dead.
Yeah.
And like the lightest float's not off the bluff, but you also have to protect your check range because if you start betting a lot, you're betting too much king.
Mm-hmm.
And also having ace, but if you check, you have ace and the king, so the imposition can't go too crazy.
A lot of it's just the asymmetry in range construction too. You can see the imposition only has 7 combos left, right? So
yeah, and they're all ace X heavy.
Yeah, they're super ace X heavy, so you just have like a big advantage, and when you choose to bet, you just fold out all this middle, which now concentrates them even higher to having like the ace X, and that's ultimately what's going to lead to the ace jack being a very easy trivial fold on the end, I think. Because it's not going to be very easy to find bluffs. So we can see that as a response, the ace jack here, it does do a tiny little bit of clicking, which I find to be interesting, but I guess that's just to have some balance with some of the other hands.
You're
like,
bluffing ace 5, I guess, because like that's the worst hand you have in the bluff range, because 5-4 is a wheel.
5-4 is a wheel. Jack 10 of diamonds, I guess, is semi-bluffing. But again, it's for a very small size, right? So this is almost like the click back to check down.
Or a click back call off if you get jammed on, I guess.
Yeah, and you're doing it a little bit with top 2. You see, you never do it with ace queen. It's like too strong. You know, blocks too much, I imagine, in the way of hands that could potentially be barreling for your opposition. So we choose call here, which is the highly sought after play. River flush completing 10 of the backdoor. And we can see that all in is the preferred strategy here. Most of the range is just concentrated. Jacks is going to be the bluff here, it looks like. Ace king suited and ace queen actually doing a ton of checking. Ace king off is jamming, I assume, when it has the king of clubs. No, it's actually focusing mostly on having the ace of diamonds, which is a bit interesting to me. I guess you block ace 10 of diamonds, which is pretty important. And then the 2 jacks are going to be your bluff, so jam for about 55% pot, and you see ace jack pure fold. Nailed it, Jeremy. You fucking nailed it, Jeremy. Ace jack I think is like a trivial fold. Ace queen feels hard but good, if that makes sense.
Are we folding 6-5 of clubs? No. I was like, why is there? I was like, what's going on?
It's the front door.
It's
variety.
It just doesn't exist very often because it does something different later.
The front door. Yeah, it probably raises flop.
Raises flop.
Some.
Probably raises flop, right? Anyways, right. I was like, why are we folding a 5-card hand? What's going on here?
Yeah, so ace king actually mixes folds here sometimes, which Godspeed, I wouldn't have the ability to do this. I don't think.
I wouldn't either. Well, I also think it's a bad idea because people will probably jam ace king themselves too much.
Right.
So now you can't be folding chops.
I'm actually really shocked that like having the king of clubs still leads to a fold sometimes. It's really tough for them to have a flush when you block the king of clubs.
Well, they don't. They being the in-position player?
The out-of-position player. This is the response to shove for in-position.
Right. Well, they should not be betting with king X suited on the turn.
Fair. But I guess...
the range construction is probably not going to be what it looks like in practice.
Right. This is mixing, basically just saying, like, he has enough pocket kings in range, pocket kings, pocket aces in range, that, like, we have to find some folds.
Yeah, because he's not betting...
Because his only bluff is, like, 1 or 2 combos of jacks.
Yeah, he's not betting ace king enough of the time to make you have to pay it.
Correct.
Because he's running into a backdoor flush too much from king X of clubs, I suppose.
Yeah. That makes a ton of sense.
So it's like, oh shit, we need a set to be all in here.
Right.
And you're like, well, I got 2 pair.
Godspeed. Shout out to Jeremy. Just nailed that one.
Good job, Jeremy.
Crushed it.
No shock. to any of us. I don't think. Not a lot of insights for us to provide there. Just good hand, bluff catch. When bluffs no longer exist, fold.
Good hand.
Seems good.
Good job.
Yo, I have a CSA.
Okay.
God.
This is fucking insane.
No.
This is one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my life. Joey Chestnut.
Mm-hmm.
We all know who Joey Chestnut is, right?
Yeah, it's
The
like
The
hot dog
Glizzy
king.
Gladiator.
The
right?
Glizzy Gladiator
I like
has
that.
been banned from the Nathan's hot dog eating competition for having a sponsorship with a rival hot dog company.
See, this is what happens when you try to get all-inclusive media.
No more glizzies for him. No more glizzy glory for the
You
gladiator.
try to bring in,
No more
you try to bring in
Glizzy glory.
Sugardale, and then all of a sudden, fucking Nathan's got you on the curb. You know, like you can't. It doesn't work that way,
There will
man. This is
be
a
a
competitive
new-
environment.
I'm kind
Oh,
of surprised that like Nathan's didn't sponsor him.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, maybe he's got a bigger one. Maybe he's got that Oscar Mayer
Oscar
wiener.
Mayer money.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Little ballpark money.
No, I just mean like prior to this. I'm
My
sure.
baloney has a first name.
Yeah, something.
I don't know this song
Yeah, this is old people's music.
for my time.
It's
Yeah.
OSCAR. My baloney has
Did you
a
say B
second
something?
name. Yeah. He was going to spell baloney.
Oscar.
No, he was going to spell
I was going to go
baloney.
with baloney, but too many letters.
Yeah.
B-O-L. Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A. Okay. That's going to do it for us. Shout out to the
Is
Pauler
that how you
who
learn
made
how to
it here.
spell that when you're like 5?
Yeah, Bologna.
Right.
No, actually, there was a kid in my high school. His last name was Bologna, but it's spelled baloney.
Fucking DePaulo. Damn, getting fired for having competing sponsors? Can't relate.
You're basically the Joey Chestnut of the poker community,
That's
Ryan.
true.
Wow.
If you guys haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow on time, 10:30 a.m. Pacific. We're going to be joined by the one and only best looking man around, Jesse Sylvia. We're going to try to keep this motherfucker out of my parking spot, but he's going to have all the horror stories from the Limit Hold'em tournaments, the button clicking events, if you will. It's going to be a great one tomorrow. I promise.
Min Bet Jesse, let's
That's
get it
right.
popping.
You guys are going to want to be here for this one. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, 10:30 a.m.
Later,
Peace.
squad.